Good morning. Here's an idea that I would like to develop on YouTube, maybe with your help. I think we need a global wisdom council. By that I mean a group of elders to help us address, understand, and communicate the main ideas and issues of the day. Now, what exactly is this wisdom council, and where did it come from? It's an idea that originates from Zen Gardner's recent interview with Henrik Palmgren for Red Ice Radio in mid-August 2014. They were talking about how we are always reacting to one bit of bad news after another. These are news reports put out to serve the cabal. In the interview, they were talking about how it would be great if we could stop reacting and instead take a leading role in bringing about the future that we, the people, want. We can force the cabal to react to our agenda instead of us always reacting to theirs. I think the time has come to begin a practical development of such an idea. And the intention of this video is to outline a few ideas about what a global council might do, and most importantly, what issues it might address. First, though, I want to take a minute or two to describe the original idea as presented by Zen Gardner. It was put forth in his discussion with Henrik Palmgren, the host of Red Ice Radio. You can hear the discussion for yourself at 46 to 50 minutes. That's about a 4-minute segment, starting 46 minutes, out of a 59-minute podcast. Now, Red Ice does not encourage people to take clips from their podcasts, and I will honor that. So instead of playing the clip, an excerpt, I'll paraphrase what was said. The interesting section started with Zen talking about how we are forced to hear about one disaster after another. On the news we hear this, and sometimes it need not even be a real event. The press will just come out saying what happened without really providing any strong evidence. What they want is an emotional reaction by the people, and they get it by proclaiming it as news without really going into detail. Heinrich's reaction was that we the people, are very passive. We're mere passengers, and we are not dictating the direction of where we want to go. The cabal is doing that. And he regrets that every department of government seems to be infiltrated with the wrong people. And he wonders what it will take to bring humanity to a better stage. Now, Zen was thoughtful, and his reaction to this was to say, as you are talking, I am thinking. Taking the initiative is everything, said Zen. We can just set up a world council, a bunch of wise people who will govern the earth as wise elders, as shamans would. That way we can hear their opinion from now on, not the opinion of the news spin of the powers that be. Zen wants to talk solutions, and he suggests that we should take a completely new approach, a way out there initiative, he calls it. And he says, let's set up the world the way it is supposed to be. We can proclaim that the Kali Yuga is now over, and we can start setting up shop for the future. Zen thinks the Palestinians are a great example. They have great resilience. They will not move off their land. They are going on living the way they want to live, even as bombs drop around them. Zen thinks we should not attack the cabal's wall where they think we are going to be, and instead we should find a new place to go. And he affirms that we're not talking about a UN panel here, we're talking about something different. And he says, let's give it some thought and kick it into place. So that's the discussion from Red Ice. Now when I heard that, I thought, I truly like this idea. I think it is revolutionary in the sense that it can change the way we think about how we are governed and how we select our leaders. Or to put it in another way, we can govern ourselves, since this is really about self-government and not following the dictates of puppet leaders whose strings are being pulled by the elites. Now I want to flesh this out in a way that could appeal to many people. To give it substance, I want to go straight to the purpose of this proposed group and outline what functions, what agendas it might put forth, and how it could begin to change our planet, and change it in a dramatic way, not within years, but within months. Now I see a wisdom council of 12 persons being elected, and I give some description of how they might be selected and elected. But before that, I want to talk about the agenda, the big agenda that I see them tackling. I've decided to limit this to a small number of items. I've chosen 6, and so there are 6 key items that I think should be the focus of the Wisdom Council. Number 1 is to officially disclose the presence of extraterrestrials on our planet. That alone would change so much. Number 2 would be to offer to engage ETs and begin discussion and maybe negotiation of new trade and peace treaties with ETs, and particularly benevolent ETs. Number 3 would be to investigate in a transparent way the true governance and hidden power structures on our planet, i.e., how does the cabal govern us? Number 4 would be to stop all human aggression on the planet, and do this by dismantling the political and financial incentives for warfare. Too many people profit from war. We need to find a way to stop those profits. Number 5 is to identify ways of returning power to local communities and making local elections free from globalist influences. Number 6 is as important as the rest, and that is to restore the common heritage of humans. We can do that by dismantling usury and limiting or eliminating rent-seeking behavior. Okay, those are the 6 agenda items, which I believe, if pursued to a point of execution and realization, truly would change our world. Where would this council come from? Well, I see 3 phases in coming up with the World Council. Number 1 would be to use the internet and a widespread campaign on the web to identify 30 to 50 suitable candidates for possible inclusion in the World Council, in the Wisdom Council. Number 2 would be to ask those 30 to 50 people to select amongst themselves between 12 and 20 people through a vote. The phase 3 would be when those people, the selectors that are chosen, actually vote for the 12 to 20 members. To limit the damage and bad behavior that this sort of group might do, I propose that the list of candidates would not be open to everyone, that certain people would be excluded. I would expect to exclude members of secret societies, and if it is found that anyone is a member of a secret society, they would have to resign or agree not to run. Secondly, I would exclude lawyers and bankers unless they have been inactive from those professions for over 1 decade. I would also exclude professional politicians, and that is anyone who has spent 4 or more years in elective office. And finally, I would not allow people who support international Zionism. To have such people on this committee would just be courting trouble. Now, the exact method of election would be determined by a working group, which could be formed over the next 6 to 12 months, during the time when the list of possible candidates is being drawn up. So that's it. I want to keep the initial idea simple and get it out now for public discourse and discussion. The first and next thing I'd like to do is have a discussion or interview with Zen Gardner and record that and share it on the web. At this stage, I'm very open for comments here on the YouTube video or on the GEI website, a link of which will be provided. Thank you very much for your kind attention.